open book. I'm very candid. So I give a lot when it comes to my interviews. I think it's a Scorpio thing. We don't have a discretion button and if it is, it's permanently in the off position. So I have a very difficult time holding my tongue and holding back my opinions and, whatever's on my mind and that I need to get off my chest, or, just being frank about who I am. I've been in the process of writing a book for the last 2 to 3 years, and every time I start to write, my focus, like I said, in terms of having a direct focus, my focus will go off to the left or go off to the right, and I'm just like, what am I writing? Am I writing a how-to guide for young women to break into the industry? Am I writing on my life experiences so that people can avoid the same negative experiences that I've had? Am I writing a memoir? I'm too young to do that. Like, what am I doing? So the book is writing itself, and I can't leave this career, this life, without leaving that kind of mark. Something for people to kind of just, some way to immortalize myself more than just a music video. It's extremely frustrating for that to be just the main focus that people just sort of remember. I'm always doing things that are, innovative. So beyond the book, I'm also working on a play with, a Tony Award-winning Broadway director, bringing to life my experiences in this industry, past, present, and what the future may hold. Life in Canada versus life here in the States. Wow. It's funny you asked that question because it instantly transports me back to the day that I got here, with the intention of living here. And the funny thing is the date was September 11th, 2000, the year before the towers came down. I got here with 2 suitcases, $25 and a one-way ticket. It originally was $30, but I bought a bag of chips and a Pepsi at the airport. And most people, when I lived in Toronto, they called it baby New York. And I just went with it, The reality of the situation is Toronto and Canada are nothing like the States. It's more European than it is American. Our second language is French. The country is basically governed by, the British monarch, the Queen. And every time I go back, I feel more and more like a foreigner in the country in which I was born and raised, because the States is just, first of all, the economic the economic status of each country is completely different. We come from a socialist economy, and this is a capitalist economy. And with that comes a very, very different way of life. Like, in Canada, we have very high taxation on everything. But what that leads to is very, very good social programs, welfare, social insurance, which is Social Security for you guys, pension plans, healthcare is, probably the best in the world. We have clean streets. Everyone's like, wow, it's so clean here. And it really is clean. It looks like you could eat off the ground in Canada, versus the States is very, very different, But another example of the differences is there's no such thing as Donald Trump in Canada. But I've never seen poverty in Canada like I've seen it in this country. It's very much a community-based way of life. It's extremely tolerant because everybody is of mixed heritage in Canada. If there is racism, it's extremely subtle. It's nowhere near what it is here. So those are the differences, like right off the top of my head, that I experienced when I moved.
And so he was in there teaching me like how to throw the money, how to like slap the money on the strippers. He was in there teaching me that. I had a good time. I got a nice little lesson in Atlanta strip club, the culture, and let's just say I've been doing a pretty good job ever since then.
I just have noticed about women in the industry, we're so nasty to each other. It's crazy. We are so catty because we're in a male-dominated industry and we think that we're the enemy, and that's stupid.
Power technology makes it elevate to that higher level. Like, it's controlling who you're speaking to for real. Now I know exactly who bought my album and why they're listening, where they get their sources of information from, which city they live in, where I'm gonna do a show.
But when you're around other people that are hungry, that shit lights a fucking fire under your ass. Like, and if you don't show up for a day or 2 days, believe there'll be somebody that'll be like, yo, where you been, bud? You slacking? You sleeping?